with the YouTube recording. Here we are. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, YouTube. Thanks for joining us, YouTube. We love you. Oh, wait. Ooh, audio.
I use my hands a lot. So.
That's totally okay.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I use them a lot too. They're attached to me.
That's the best excuse.
Seriously, dude.
Sorry, dude. I can't help it.
Cannot avoid the dad jokes.
Dude, it's just Captain Obvious.
You know what? It's okay. My Laz, my partner, he's a dad, and he is the king of corny dad jokes.
See?
So I get him all day, every day. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know where it comes from. It just comes from like them. So
it's like you turn into a dad, and automatically it's just like dad jokes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that right there was a YouTube exclusive.
There you go, YouTube. All right, you ready to do this?
Here we go for the for the podcast. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of Business Bros. Woo! Happy Thursday.
Hi. Happy Thursday.
All calm and
What a
shy.
day. I know, right?
No, I'm like, woo! Okay.
Hello.
All right. Hello.
Welcome
Hi.
to the program.
Hi. Today,
Ladies and gentlemen.
ASMR today.
ASMR.
On today's episode of... No, I'm just kidding.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Hernancia is here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
the insurance bro, James Cias, with Pipeline Insurance.
and we are here today with...
An amazing guest, an awesome guest, a fabulous guest. We are so excited to have Miss Jackie Camacho, our actually second guest from the Windermere Home Estates group. Thank you so much, Jackie, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, you guys got to check her out. She's got great smile, and we've been talking before the show. She said I vomit dad jokes.
Totally vomiting dad jokes.
It's okay. Again, I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
And she's going to talk with her hands, so you're going to want to watch this on YouTube if you're listening to the podcast on audio.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gents, before we get started, a quick reminder, 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. So if you have new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, or you want to donate cash, hit up James 619-884-0045 or James at csfirst.com. Playing with the audio there. Sorry, ladies and gents.
Yep, my bad.
619-884-0045 or James at csfirst.com. He'll ride over on his Harley and pick up those bad boys from you. And he's willing to pick up a grip of shoes. So if you got a lot, let him know. Hit him up. And of course, if you need anything insurance-wise, also hit him up. All right.
Call me.
I saw the Harley. It's pretty cool.
It's cool, right?
You.
Yeah. It looks rad.
You want to ride? He'll give you a ride.
Oh.
Grab it's always moving. Everybody, you know what?
I've ridden a motorcycle one time, and I felt like I was gonna fall off every time. So I can't do it.
It's something.
So much
it's
fun.
something. Yeah, I don't know. Trust me.
I just want to be in charge of my own life. You know, so
Thank you.
like I don't know if I want to ride in the back. Do I want to learn how to ride a motorcycle? Heck yeah. But do I want to ride behind somebody? No.
Yeah, no, it's totally cool. But you should definitely get a bike, especially when you're living down here in San Diego. Best absolute way to get around, hands down.
Yeah. Well,
you don't fight for parking.
Escondido, so
never fight for parking.
It was the worst.
Never worry about traffic. Never.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You do make some good points.
You just risk your life every single day, but it's all good, right?
Yeah,
it's all good.
Cool.
It's totally worth it. You know, people get all mad. People I'm cruising in between the cars, and people want to get all mad, and like I hear people yelling at me and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, look, if you want to risk your life every day, you could ride between the cars too.
They're just mad they're not getting to where they need to go as fast as you are.
Right,
exactly.
Jealousy.
Yeah.
All right, well,
the
Jackie,
big green monster.
Speaking of living your life, tell me a little bit about yours.
All right. Well, let's see. Where did we get started?
I was born in. No, I'm just.
So actually, I was born in Mexico. No, no, really.
Were you really?
No, yeah, I was.
Nice.
So I moved to the States when I was 5 years old. I have 4 brothers and sisters, mom and dad. I don't have any pets. I don't have anything or anyone, which is cool. I love it. It's great. But I came here with my family and went to school here and decided that I'd give real estate a try, I guess, right? So right now I'm a real estate agent in San Diego County. I service mostly North County and a little bit of Riverside County. And sometimes I venture out to your hood, but traffic is just the worst.
Going southbound sucks,
it's like insane. So I rather just stay in my area. But basically, I enjoy every single day of my life. I love what I do. I love the people around me, and I try to spread positivity and kindness everywhere I go. That's really it. It's hard to talk about yourself,
Right?
I think that's a good intro.
That's a good little intro, right?
For sure.
All right.
Good elevator speech.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Let's dig a
Appreciate
little deeper.
it. Sure.
Did you do anything prior to this, or you just jumped right into real estate?
So I've been doing sales since I was 11. I used
tell
to
me about
sell
that.
wigs.
No way! At
Yeah.
11-year-old?
Yeah. So
Did you wear them and be like, check it out, I look good, you should look good in this
but
thing
I would
too?
have to help people kind of like figure out like, is this a good color for you? What do you think? I used to work at the Escondido swap meet. So we very, very humble beginnings. My parents struggled to raise 4 kids at the time. So I decided I don't want to ask my parents for money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to make my own.
Yeah.
So at the time, my mom worked at the Escondido swap meet, and I asked her if I could work there too. It just so happens that this lady was like, oh, I kind of need an assistant to help me in my stand. And she sells like hair accessories and wigs and stuff like that. And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? So I went there. I showed up, and the lady was like, I thought you were like a 16-year-old looking for a job. I'm like, no. So I was 11, but I was like, just give me a chance. I'll do this. So I learned customer service and sales from there. I worked different stands. I kind of moved around a little bit. And then after that, I worked in retail, and then I worked in debt collections. I worked in car sales. Not car direct sales, but the service side.
Mm-hmm.
And then randomly went to beauty school because I love hair and makeup and stuff.
Yeah, probably because you were selling wigs at 11.
Right? Yeah, totally. So then I went to beauty school, but then at the same time, I studied for my real estate license because I had just bought a house. I was 22. So I had just bought a house with my brother at 22, and I was like, I want to do beauty school, but I kind of think I could do this real estate thing.
Yeah,
like,
that wasn't so bad, right?
Yeah, it was so easy.
Yeah.
Like
Anybody could do it.
Yeah, anybody could do it. Anybody. So I studied for my hair license and my real estate license, and I got them both in August of 2014. So I decided to go with real estate.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So what happened to the hair thing? Like, dude, it's difficult. Like, beautician license to get that stuff. That's a lot of school. How much school is that?
1,800 hours.
1,800 hours.
Yeah.
Well, look, now you can cut my hair. We'll be good with that.
Yeah.
Like,
easy.
Yeah,
got
easy.
it.
No
got
problem.
The only thing is you might be a little picky, you know, like style.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe a
happens.
comb over. I don't know. Donald Trump, help me out.
Yeah. Expert. He's the expert.
Well done.
But yeah, no. So I mean, I did do hair for a little bit. I didn't become as passionate about it as I thought I would be. So I just stick to my own hair and makeup, you know. But then I decided to do real estate. So jumped into it. Do you guys want to hear about like my real estate journey or?
Hell yeah. Tell me.
So I jumped into real estate thinking this is going to be the easiest thing ever. I'm a people person. People like me. Mm-hmm. It's cool. Let's do that, right?
Just like everybody else who gets their license.
Yeah, I didn't close anything for 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
So,
great.
Yeah.
So zero paycheck.
No money. I worked a very part-time at the time for a dealership. And I was doing sales there too. But finally, I kind of got like over it. And so I started looking for a different brokerage to work with that would give me the right mentorship. And that's when I met my partner, Laz. So he's like, I love where I work. Do you want to come and interview? I went to interview, and the broker was like, no, we're not interested in hiring anybody right now. So thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not actively recruiting agents. So
Like,
I was
just get turned down at a
this is
brokerage?
so weird. Yes,
Right?
that's what I thought. I was
How
like,
does that
this is so weird. I think she didn't think she had enough time to be mentoring more people. So I didn't give up, and I was just like, can I just shadow? And then she's like, sure. So I shadowed, and then she's like, okay, you can join.
Come on.
Yeah. So I started working for her. It's a boutique brokerage in San Marcos. She's amazing. She taught me the skeleton of my career was built because of her and the foundation.
Tell me about that. What do you mean by the skeleton of your career?
So she taught me like foundational stuff that has pushed me to be better and better in business. So contract, like really, really learning the contract. She's a beast at that. Do you guys want me to share who she is, or
you can?
Oh yeah,
you don't mind.
So when I first started real estate, I ended up working with Carol Farrar at 1850 Realty, and she taught me how to negotiate. She taught me the power of social media. She taught me, just like how to do things the right way. And I feel like in real estate, it can be a really lonely business, and people just try to figure it out and they don't do it right.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest issue with that is many people do things because they're told to do things, not because they know why they're doing them.
Yes. Okay. I totally agree with you. So she was really great at explaining that. And so I learned how to take care of people, and the importance of social media was really brought up by her. My social media before I became a real estate agent was a mess.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going drinking tonight. I'm so partying. Drunk. Like, yeah, it was crazy. So, and she's like, okay, you can be yourself, but there's just a different way of placing it. And so that's when I learned like how important it is to interact with other people on social media. Mm-hmm. And I've always been a really open person and love to interact with others. Like I don't really have a problem with that on social media. I don't know about real life.
But in real life is different.
Social media. So, you know, how to make sure that you're consistently on top of people's minds. On top of people's minds?
Yeah.
Top of mind. Top of mind. How to consistently do that, and by doing that you just gotta interact with them, but you also have to be genuine. You can't just be like, I love your shirt, it's so pretty, and it's like the ugliest shirt you've ever seen in your life, you know. Like genuinely caring about others is really important. So I started posting about how I was in real estate and that I am starting out. So I was super honest, like, hey, I'm starting real estate. And then I started learning about different programs. And at the time, my big seller was down payment assistance through CaliHFA. So I was 24 at the time. And I'm like, dude, I don't know anybody who wants to buy a house. I don't know any 24-year-olds. Yeah. And then so she's like, you got to stop thinking small. You got to think bigger. Maybe not the 24-year-old, but their mom or dad or their aunt and uncle or somebody in their family. I'm like, okay, cool. So I started liking people's posts and commenting, and I really enjoyed that because, again, I'm very open and I love to share. And then I started posting about down payment assistance programs, and then everybody and their mama was like, well, I already pay rent, and I don't have the down payment. So
like, perfect. Let me show you something.
Work out. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so that's where I started. I feel like my first 6 deals were down payment assistance, basically.
Well, it's because it's the message that you were putting out there, right? Yeah. You actually dedicated yourself to educating the people who you were commenting on about a particular subject.
Yeah.
And surprise, surprise, they asked you questions about it.
Yes, exactly. I know it. I feel like people are so scared of social media, but really it's just sharing information.
Yeah.
So sharing information, sharing thoughts, sharing feelings. You know, you get the crazy stuff on social media too, but why don't you become a part of something better? Mm-hmm. So it's up to you to post good content that people will enjoy, and then post about your life, who you are, what you do, what you care about. Yeah, exactly. I actually was reviewing my Facebook now, and I'm just like, this is too much business. Like, I need to post about
some
the
fun
good stuff that I have.
So let me ask you though.
Sure.
You still posting the I'm party? What's up?
Depends how many drinks I've had, and it's mostly just like stories. Like
it's going in your stories. Yeah, not posts, but in the stories.
Post, just my stories. It'll disappear in 24 hours. I'll be totally fine. It's cool.
Oh my god, I did that last night.
Yeah, seriously. I'll wake up in the very first thing in the morning. I'm like, I need to go to my Instagram story real quick. I mean, it's fine. Obviously, not the same thing at 22, 24, but it's still. I'm just like, I'm a professional now, so I gotta, maybe not be so crazy at night and drinking and stuff. No, but I mean, it's totally part of who I am. Not the drinking part, just like being myself and not really caring too much about what I post. And I think that people find that very refreshing. I was actually just having a conversation with another amazing Latina realtor. Her name's Paulina Salazar. She's over at Compass. And we were just having a conversation about how I wanted her to be on a panel. We're going to have a panel for NAHREP. It's called Wonder Woman in Real Estate, August 1st over at El Camino Country Club. And so I invited her to be a panelist because I think she's doing amazing. She's young, getting it, and again, a Latina. So we were having this conversation about how difficult it can be to put yourself out there, but how important as a real estate agent that it is. So we decided that we're going to be more active in maybe the IG Live IGTV. IGTV, yes. IGTV, we're going to be a little bit more active there and just share our information and stories, and as we share this information and stories, you will capture the audience that you need to capture at the time. So
the ones that need to hear it.
They need to hear it.
Yeah.
That, like, you tell them how you struggle, or you woke up at, I don't know, whatever time and started working, and then now it's like the other night I worked out early in the morning, and then like as soon as I could, I started dealing with all my real estate stuff, and I was going back and forth, and it was like I got home 9ish, 10, and I was exhausted. I'm just tired. Obviously not the same thing as a laborer's job, and I say this because I can hear my dad saying, like,
you don't call that work.
Yeah.
You want to know what work is?
It's different. It's like mental, and you do physically run around and go crazy. Anyways, it was late at night, and I was just so exhausted, and I shared, like, I'm so tired. I love what I do, but I'm just so tired. And then somebody commented, you know what? Like, they sent me a message, and they were like, you know what? I appreciate that you're working so hard, so late for your clients. I'm so excited when I get to buy my house, you get to represent me. So it's like the person that at the time connected with you, maybe, or whatever way, they reach out to you and they'll say, I feel the same way, or thank you for sharing that because now I know you're a hard worker. Or sometimes I'm just so frustrated with the world today, and people are like, me too. And that's the type of people you want to have connecting with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so we always talk about how social media is like your reality TV show, right? It's what you're doing. And even though you're putting things out, and as you start to put it on a consistent level, whether it's your posts or your stories, people are watching. They may not always be commenting, but they're watching, and they're becoming a fan of whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Your life is interesting to some people, right? Some people are going to be interested in what you do, especially when you're putting out information that's valuable, that things like, this is how you do this, or this is why you want to try this thing, or whatever it is, the value content that you're putting out there. It's going to make that biggest difference. And then when people see that you're struggling or you need a little pick me up because you've provided them with so much value throughout you know, all your posts, then it turns around and they reciprocate and they're like, I got you back. Like, you're all good.
Totally.
Like I'm here for you.
Yes. And you need to, or you should be able to do the same for other people too. And I think that's the best part too, is that I know I give a lot of just myself to people, and they're able to pick me up when I'm down or whatever. But I see people too. And just like you said, I might not be liking them all the time. I might not be commenting, but I will reach out to people and say, like, hey, I saw your post. Like,
keep going. Yeah.
Get it. Every single day too, especially to, sorry boys, but the Latina female entrepreneur, I am just like, yes, girl.
Yeah.
Get it. All day, every day. Even if you're doing my same type of job, get it. I want you to succeed. I want to see you succeed. Like, this is amazing.
Well, speaking of giving of yourself, right? Yes. You've transitioned from super party girl at the clubs to like super party girl with other professionals, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. What kind of stuff are you involved in? I mean, you kind of hinted it a little bit.
Yeah. So there's two things that I'm involved with. In 2018, I was the YPN chair, so the Young Professionals Network. It's part of our association, NSDCAR, and we are a national organization. So the Young Professionals Network, what we do is we have events throughout the year, and they're not just partying events. Like, you're not just going to go to drink. We have a lot of educational events that empower young professionals in the business. And it could be young at age, young at heart, or young in the business, and just empower them with the education of like a top producer panel, an investor panel, and then we will have just networking events, which are like the last home on tours, where it's the last home on the tour, and we'll do cocktails and drinks and get to look at some really awesome multi-million-dollar homes. But the whole idea is to empower agents so that they can be better and do better. So
that if they're new in the business, just getting started, whatever they have, if they don't have a mentor, they have a place where they can get some mentorship.
Yes. So that was a really important thing for me, because going into the business, most agents are in their, I guess, so if you go to NAR Research, that's their Instagram page, you'll find a lot of really great information about real estate and real estate agents and just demographics and buyers and sellers and millennials and all this stuff. So I was looking at their page, and they had posted about how most agents are like 56 years old. That's the average age. And over more than 50, less than 60, so don't quote me on the number, but are females. And that tells us that most people are really much older in the business. And so there isn't a lot of young people in the business. I feel like there's 2 types of real estate agents. There's the real estate agents, no, actually maybe 3. The real estate agents that have been doing this because they retired, and so they were like, oh, I'll just do real estate to keep me busy. So they're not really producing or actively involved. Mm-hmm. And then you have the real estate agents who are young, like myself, and chose real estate as a career at a really young age because we see the long game. And so because we are young, we're not taking maybe as seriously. I mean, I was helping a client who was like 60, and I was 24 at the time. So, like, what is this 24-year-old gonna do?
But I'm gonna stop you right there, because a lot of that is self-imposed.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like that person is coming to you because you're a professional. They've seen that you've been a professional. You presented to them a professional presentation or a professional appearance, right? They've signed with you, whether on the buyer side or the seller side, because of your professionalism, and they expect that from you. What you just said right there is what most young people are projecting on themselves. I think.
Yes.
Right?
I hear you. I hear you on that. However, it has been brought up to me and maybe other agents, because I'm all about mindset, right? If I think I'm a big bad wolf, I'm a big bad wolf. If I think I'm like Little Red Riding Hood, I am Little Red Riding Hood, a victim or whatever, right?
Whatever you think, you're right.
You are. So I'm all for it. I totally agree. But I feel like there is a stigma to millennial agents about how we do business.
I'm going to share something with you.
Yes.
So when I started in 2006, after my first business went down, we had when I was closing it, I learned a lot of things. One of them was that Uncle Sam is somebody we pay taxes to, and they take a lot of money. So I went and enrolled in tax school because I wanted to learn what the heck, dude, where's this money going?
Yes.
I started doing tax returns. Oh. And when I started sitting down and talking to people about money, and I was, 24 at the time, baby face, with hair, I understand that feeling. But as soon as you start talking to them and speaking the language of the professional things that you like when you speak real estate to somebody who does not speak real estate, it's a professional dialect.
Oh yeah.
Like you're all of a sudden, and they see you as a professional. Same thing. If I started talking to you and started using terms, tax terms, you'd look at me like, whoa, this guy knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a language that you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? And so once you sit down and show people how professional you are, then that objection of, you're too young, that goes away.
Yes.
But for the most part, if you hold that objection, like you said, if you feel like Little Red Riding Hood, right? I did was Red Riding Hood, yeah. So
I don't know why I picked that.
But
I just
if you feel like that, you're gonna project that also.
Yes.
So, that's one thing you're absolutely right on a lot of stuff. I just was like, don't put that on yourself. Like,
yes,
be the professional you are. Otherwise, you're going to put that on yourself.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. You're right. So, if you act confident and somebody told me, I met this politician, I won't say her name because I don't know what you guys think or not think, but she was great. I met her on vacation. We were in Thailand, and she was talking about how she does public speaking and all this stuff. Obviously, it's part of her job. And she told me, whatever room you are in, whether it's a meeting room or an audience, like a big auditorium, whatever room you're in, feel and know that you belong there.
That's right.
And so I take that with me everywhere.
That's right.
And people talk to me like one-on-one now, but if I was in a group setting, I would feel very uncomfortable.
Well, especially
but I don't
think about
act
real
that
estate.
way.
Think about real estate. Look, all these realtors show up to a room and they're dressed nice. They look professional as all hell. You don't know. There's no number on top of their head that says I closed 2 deals this year, right? Or I closed 20 deals or 200 deals. None of that stuff pops up in their head. All you see is somebody in a nice suit, professional, right? So that could feel like an intimidation factor.
Yeah.
You definitely need to come in and own that room. Like you need to come in with the confidence and that you know your stuff, that you are a professional, that you kick ass.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Right?
You're pumping me up real quick.
Hype man.
Hype man, yes. No, I totally agree.
Go team.
So, yes. And break.
And break.
Yeah. But no, I mean, so I hear everything you're saying and I agree. But I think being in a group with other young professionals gives you that, like, oh man, if they're doing it, I could totally do it. Because I've been in a room of 500 and been the only one who was 24-year-old and female and Latina. So it can be intimidating. You're right. They dress up really nice. There's tons of agents that I see and I look up to, and then I see their production and I'm like, whoa, that's so weird.
Right?
So weird. But it's cool. I mean, whatever. I guess perception is what it is.
Well, I mean, and we're talking about the one factor, which is age, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking about that one factor. When I started getting into like the whole business and finance and everything, I would sit in rooms and learn about how to work with people who have assets over $5 million, right? Mm-hmm. And you're sitting in a room talking to those people. And mind you, I'm like you. I came from Mexican humble beginnings. Mm-hmm. Like $5 million is a lot of money in my world at the time. I was thinking like, holy crap, that's a ton, right? Like I wouldn't even know how to spell the $5 million, much less talk to somebody about how to invest it.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting in the room and I know that I'm learning something that I can talk to somebody else about and then be that expert and that professional.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's content. Sometimes when you're sitting there talking about contracts, right? And you're a realtor and you've been doing real estate for a year, 2 years, and somebody points out something in a contract that you didn't quite understand and it opens your eyes, all of a sudden that person becomes a mentor of yours because they've taught you something.
Yeah, I've been schooled.
Yeah, and you turn around, but you teach somebody else that thing too.
Yeah, you got to pass it along. So that's the one cool thing about being involved in like the Young Professionals Network. We have a tax event every January or February. So to teach agents about their money and the fact that you will have to pay a good chunk of money to Uncle Sam. So how to help you.
Tax.
Yes, how to avoid that. Not avoid paying taxes, but you know how to not have to pay as much. So we'll have classes like that. But passing along that knowledge to newer agents, I thrive with that. I just love sharing with other agents and letting them know they can totally do it. So I started with not producing anything for 6 months and then started producing on a regular, consistent basis. For the following 6 months, I closed 6 transactions. It basically became my first year or 2 year where I was closing 1 or 2 transactions a month. So did that, and then I've just continuously grown, and I'm not the same person I was when I started at 24, because I've learned and I've sat in the rooms with the people with all the money or all the houses or owning different investments. I've sat with them, I've had the conversations, and I'm able to absorb the knowledge and pass it along to somebody else. So being part of organizations like YPN and currently NAHREP's emphasis, so the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. I'm the president this year for our North County chapter. We have 3 chapters, one in North County, one in La Jolla, and one in South San Diego. So NAHREP is, what we do is we like to advance sustainable Hispanic home ownership, and that is through education of agents. And we talk about wealth, we talk about lending, we lobby for certain laws that are going to be important, that impact our community, because the Latino market does drive the housing market. We actually drive a large part of the economy. Because we have a large population. Yeah, I believe every minute or 2 minutes, a new Latino turns 18. Damn. So, yeah, and I have a bunch. If you guys want to reach out to me, I have a bunch of information. We just went to Legislative Week over in D.C., so I have all of the information about Latinos in regards to our economic ability to the economic impact. Yep, that we have on the U.S. of A. So we contribute so much, and so NAHREP just really, really pushes you to understand wealth. So they have the NAHREP 10, which is basically like be physically fit, which is really important. You got to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't do anything else. If you don't have health, you don't have anything. Right. So, and then they talk about how to be savvy with your money. The one with the most toys usually is the one that's losing. Mm-hmm. They talk to you about investing, because we really believe that housing is a vehicle to wealth. So how do we protect that? How do we teach other agents to help their clients, especially here in San Diego? I mean, we're such a huge Hispanic Latino community. So being involved has helped me grow a lot. And participating in the board and then becoming president and things like that has helped my career a lot.
Well, you've been able to network with a lot of different people,
Yes.
people who are truly successful, who do have a
Yeah.
lot of money. And let me ask you, when you sit down, because it was to me it was eye opening, but when you sit down with those people, how humble and willing to share are they?
It's amazing. It's so crazy. So I did my speech for when I became the president for NAHREP this year. I did my speech and everything, and then I finished my speech. But before that, we had Patty Arvielo with New American Funding. She's the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
She is the richest female Latina in the United States, basically, because she has this lending company. And so I told my story about how I worked at Swami, about all this stuff, right? So then I go, and she unfortunately had to leave, obviously, very busy lady,
Mm-hmm.
runs a $1 billion company. And then her sister stayed, and her sister goes, "Hey, I loved your speech. It really touched my heart. Guess what? Patty and I used to both work at the swap meet with our parents."
It's funny, huh?
Insane. Insane.
But think about that. Like, they're willing to share with you, and it opened, like, you're now you're thinking, like, yeah, my
Just
story was
like,
cool, but now it's like, oh my God, I can take this to a whole new level.
Yes,
like, I am
exactly.
capable of doing great things.
Yeah, exactly. So I've always had it in my mind that everything will work out for me. That's kind of my life, my mantra. Everything will work out. It just does.
Yeah, it does.
I say it and it does. So
Maybe not the way you want it to, but it will work out.
It will work out. Yes, totally. And I think that because I've always thought like that, sometimes I find myself thinking small.
Mm-hmm.
But when you meet people like this, you're like, screw that plan. Like, I'm about to blow this up and do something so amazing, because if she is able to come from immigrant parents, work at the Swami, start from the bottom, and now owning a mortgage company.
If she can do it,
I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, and it's funny because we all know these things. You know this, that you really, anything you set your heart to, you
can make it happen.
But when you see people that were in your similar situation, then you're like, oh man.
Not just that,
it's even more real.
Yeah, not just that. When you sit down,
more attainable.
Yeah, when you sit down and talk to them, right? They open your eyes to things in your business or the way you're doing things that you might not have seen. And every time that happens, that's like a little shortcut, a little jump into your business. Like, oh my God, like if I would have kept doing it this way and they came in and showed me something, now I'm 10 steps ahead than I was before because of that little piece of advice or that little inspiration that they gave me. Because that makes all the difference in the world. Yeah. Like, you guys, do your NAHREPs, do they talk to each other? Like the La Jolla, the South?
Yeah. So Denise, she was on your podcast.
Yeah. I was going to ask. She's got the Women Kicks Glass coming up here in July, right?
Yep. So she has her July class, and then Alex Munoz is the president for the La Jolla chapter. So we talk to each other. We try to not have the events on the same days, things like that. And we support each other however we can. We have Imelda over in Temecula. She has a NAHREP chapter there. She's the president. Patty Villanueva was the past president. Noemi Chavez is the vice president. So we're all involved, and it's really important to us. I think that the thought that real estate is just what you do shouldn't really be your thought. Real estate is so much bigger, and real estate impacts a community. I was impacted by it when I first started. My realtor inspired me to be a real estate agent, and then I was able to inspire other people just by being myself and showing them what I do. But I really, really, really want to emphasize that you help your community however you can by taking everything that you've done. We help Latino communities, and we help them achieve home ownership, which is something some people don't think they can do. It's crazy. Most people think it's 20% down payment. Yeah. And I'm like, there's so many options. There's 0% down payment. Like, if you ask the right questions, or if you become the resource for people, then they're able to reach out and achieve something that they wouldn't have thought otherwise. We work so hard in this country. Everybody does. And it doesn't only have to be immigrants or Latinos, but we work so hard. Why can't we own a piece of it? We pay rent. So try to pay your mortgage and, own something.
And in San Diego, they're pretty damn close.
It's crazy. I know. So I've owned, and I currently rent, and I'm just like done with renting. I'm going to buy something soon within this year. But so I've been on all the spectrums. I've been a homeowner. I've been a renter. I've lived with my parents. I've done it all. So I'm able to give that kind of like
perspective.
To everybody. But where I was going with the whole community thing is that who you choose to be, and when you have conversations with other people that look up to you, it's important to be honest with them and share information. And so NAHREP and YPN and myself and my team, we love doing that, especially with the youth. I've gone to schools to speak just to say, hey, I came here with nothing, with my family, and I am who I am now. I would consider myself, and it's so weird to say this out loud, but I am a successful top producing real estate agent in North County, San Diego, or all of San Diego. And I don't say it very often because, you know, it's like
you feel like
Latino thing where you're like have to be really humble all the time because, you know, can't be bragging. But
it's not
I
bragging.
really am.
You've helped hundreds of people, or whatever the number is. You've helped a lot of people reach home ownership.
Yeah.
Like, that's not bragging. That's something to be proud of.
I am. Yes, I am super proud. I've kind of niched into first-time home buyers because most people tend to be my age. But I've also helped people who are, you know, moving out of the state, or they need to sell their big houses. I've sold a 100,000 mobile home, and I've sold a $2.6 million house. Like, it ranges from everybody, and it's the same process for everybody. So don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. I'm looking at you because I'm like, don't be intimidated by the multi-million-dollar listings and sales. I know I was when I first did my first $1 million transaction was the 2.65, and I was like pooping my pants because I was like, oh my God, this is so much money. What am I gonna do? And I did it. I went through it. It was really tough because of the contingency stuff, and it was tough. But then I finished, and I'm like, it's the
so
same process.
Wait a minute. I did that. I had more problems in my $300,000 one.
It's the same. So for agents, do not be intimidated. Just go out there and do it. Just put yourself out there. Be genuine. Be eager to learn. Do things right, and you can succeed. You can do this real estate thing.
100%.
Such a great nugget.
Yeah, it was
Beautiful.
I love that. I love that. All right, let's
ask the
wind
bros.
it down. Yeah, ask the bros.
Yeah. Let's see. What's some good questions? So you guys have a lot of agents on your podcast, and just business owners, and
so we do a lot of business owners. We've started off a lot in the real estate space, and now we're starting to do other things.
Yeah, and I think that it's totally again, real estate is bigger because you have insurance companies, you have contractors, roofers, inspectors, all that stuff. So it's huge.
It's open.
It's huge. I guess, like, what is your ultimate goal with this?
Ooh.
With the podcast?
Yeah, podcast, everything that becomes of this.
You want to give that one a shot?
Nah, that's all you, man.
All right.
You speak for the both of us.
Okay. So the ultimate goal for this thing, honestly, it's been changing. So when we first started, we started simply to get exposure. We're like, look, I can get real estate leads, and you can get some insurance leads, and that'll be cool, right? Now, as we've been doing it more and more and more, it really helped me hone into what am I really good at. I've spent 17 years in business. I've started a business, everything from a cleaning company, computer company, game truck company. We've flipped real estate. We've sold real estate. Like, we've done a number of taxes. Like, I've done a number of different things. And so when we're going through this whole podcast series, and I sit down and I get to talk to professionals like you, and I realize that what I am good at is consulting people in their business. And that
you
actually
have the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes, but even more so, I have experience. And even more so, I'm one of those weird people that if you were ever to ride in a car with me, you'd be so bored because you're listening to my audiobook or you're listening to my podcast. I am constantly learning, whether it's through internet, whether it's through audio, whether it's through interactions with other people, whether it's through trainings. I'm literally, this week, I've been going to a math training because I teach math, right?
Oh, cool.
So I'm elevating my skills in math, right? Which you might not think applies to this, but it does. I get to understand how problem solving skills work and how other people think, and it becomes applicable in whatever I'm doing out outside in the world. So I am an educator is what it's come down to. In business, we would call it a business consultant, but in the real world, it's education.
Yeah.
I've consumed enough information. I've practiced enough information that I'm going to sit down with you and we're going to talk about where you're at as a business, where you want to go, and I'm going to help you get to that next level.
That's awesome.
So that's it. Really, to me, that's where I see it. That's where I see us going.
That's awesome. That's like, I love hearing people's stories about what drew them to be what they are now and what they want to do later, and you said it changes all the time. It's totally normal, and everybody is ever evolving. So this is what you're gonna work on now, but maybe you meet somebody doing something like this that you're like, whoa, like, actually I think I'm gonna direct everything this way now. And I love listening to that, because it also helps me in one way, like, okay, this is where I'm at. Okay, he's done this, this, and this. Like, I want to adjust my business to be my real estate job to be a business. So, what drives you?
Ooh, what drives you?
Yeah.
You want to answer those separate, or you want to?
Yeah. Everybody has a why. So I'm still trying to figure out my why.
Honestly, mine is pretty simple and selfish. I want to retire early. I want to travel. I want to be on the beach in Brazil. I want to see a herd of elephants in the wild. I want to attend an authentic Indian wedding in India. I just want freedom, like complete financial independence.
That's not selfish at all. That's like, that sounds freaking awesome to me. That's definitely not selfish. I think that if you want something really bad and you've worked so hard for it, you should have it. It's not selfish.
Fame and fortune. So I'm fame, he's fortune, right? Because he wants to retire rich. I want to walk down the street and I want people to say, dude, thanks very much. Like, whatever you said, that helped me. Or you've helped my business go from this level to this level. Or you helped me figure out what I wanted to do in my life. Like, that is what I'm looking for. I want to, when I die, I want there to be 10,000 people or more at my funeral, because I've impacted that many people all the way through.
That's a big deal. Impacting people is important. I'm there with you, not necessarily in the recognition, because I'm okay with not getting recognized. I just know that helping people is important to me.
Yeah. No, 100%. And it's weird because I'm like you. I actually don't like the recognition. But I just want to have been able to help people. Like, I wanted, if I'm walking down the street and somebody says, they recognize you with my logo, or they recognize me and they stop to say, hey, thanks very much, or I appreciate you, or I watch your show. Yeah. Like, it's a weird, like, the recognition I don't like, but the fact that I've helped them, that's what I do like.
Yes. And I can correlate this to Instagram and Facebook, because, like, sometimes it's not about how many likes or how many followers you have. It's like how many people you've actually engaged with. And you've impacted them so much that they actually acknowledge you, and they're like, hey, I'm watching, thank you so much, you're the best. You changed my life. Like, that kind of moment, that's awesome.
That's what I'm looking for.
And you're doing that as a teacher too. Like, those little ones, or high schoolers, whatever, they still have a long way to go in their life. And if you're impacting them by just teaching them. My mentor in life, by the way, sorry, I forgot to mention this, is my first grade teacher. I just went on vacation with her last year to New York.
Crazy.
My first grade teacher.
Wow.
Life mentor. Amazing person. Teachers are selfless people. They really are. We don't pay them enough. They have to pay for their own supplies sometimes, most of the time, and you impact a huge group of our future. And that's what my mentor did. So anyways,
keep
being a teacher.
Well,
it's amazing. It's amazing what you do.
It's one of the greatest things when the light bulb goes off.
Right?
Ta-da!
I know.
It's great.
That's awesome.
All right, last little thing. Oh, actually, two little things. Who do you think would be a good guest to have on the podcast?
So I actually was thinking, I know I mentioned her already too, Paulina Salazar. She's a really great agent. That's bad.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, right? Yeah.
Oh man, that is way
I would
too
like
common
to see
name.
another female. Sorry, I'm just like super like girl power.
Well, check it out. What we can also do is once we finish up the show, and you remember, do it in the comment, because we shared the today's show with you anyways, so you can see it. You can see it on her feed, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay,
so Jackie Camacho's feed on Facebook.
Paulina Salazar is just too popular a name, and I couldn't.
She's with Compass.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
I have all her info. I think it's Paulina Sells San Diego on Instagram.
Boom. So we're
Hey girl, I plugged you, so just letting you know.
Yep. So we're gonna reach out and have her on the show, and then she can plug you
she
back.
would be
She can
really
tell
great.
you.
She has an amazing story.
Yeah,
so
we can
I
tell
love
her. She can turn around and tell us all your stories. Like,
no.
you know what
Uh-oh.
she didn't tell you?
Oh my god! No. I don't have anything crazy like that. Never
Cool.
been to jail, so
Good.
Good. One last little plug. August 1st for NAHREP North County, we're having the Wonder Woman in Real Estate at the El Camino Country Club. Save the date, August 1st. It starts at 2:00.
Ooh, Leo date. All right, look at the camera and go ahead and tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, sure. So Instagram is Realtor Jackie Camacho. Facebook is Facebook.com/Jackie Camacho 89. My phone number is 760-877-0404. Or you could email me. I don't know. Send a pigeon. Like, just you're cool. Reach out however you want. Email is camachojackie.jc@gmail.com. I love answering questions. If you want to know about the business, if you want to know about real estate, if you want to be involved in the community, whatever you want, I got you.
Boom.
Buy or sell, of course. If you want to buy or sell,
Of course, buy or sell, yeah. By the way, I do real estate.
I need to make money, so if you want to buy or sell real estate, I got you too.
There you go.
There it is.
Jackie, you were amazing.
Thank you.
High five.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
It was really fun. I mean, I don't really get to hang out with the North County people as much.
It was
you guys are
quite
pretty
the
cool.
drive.
Yeah, you guys are pretty cool.
Well, thank you so much for coming down. We really do appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having me. It was really great.
All right. Quick reminder, ladies and gents, 365 pairs of shoes, new, used, or cash donations. Hit up James, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And, of course, if you have any insurance needs, life, health, home, auto, commercial, whatever, hit James up, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And if you want to add insurance into your business, maybe you own a tax office, a real estate office, a mortgage office, or, I don't know, car registration, whatever, hit James up, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And if you want to be on the program, hit me up. You can find me on all our social media feeds at Business Bros Pod, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I'm out.
Goodbye, Facebook.
See you, Facebook. Thanks so much for
Adios.
joining us.
Thanks for watching. Cheers. Like you smile and